Hi, everybody. This is Eating for Meaning. I'm your host, Millie Lytle, or Dr. Millie. I'm a naturopath and I'm a certified nutritionist. And we are exploring all the sun signs and how to eat for each different sun sign, whether it's your sun sign. Also, do check out your ascending or your rising sign as well as your moon sign, because that can also affect your health and how your body functions in relationship to food. As we're ascending, as we're becoming more spiritually aware, it's also very important to be in touch with our body, and our body are our temple. Your body is your temple, and so it's very important to not be perfect, but to be aware of what you're putting in your mouth. If we look at the food that's on the shelves of the grocery store, then if we think of it from a sinister perspective, which I can't help but do so because I do see the food that we're forced to eat if we select mainstream food as a form of population control. Because the food that we're eating is making us sick. It's giving us diabetes, it's giving us allergies, it's giving us high blood pressure, it's giving us food cravings. It's not by accident that so many Americans, so many North Americans, and even Western Europeans, Northern and Western Europeans, and now extending into Africa and the countries of the world that accept aid food, it's no wonder that we're suffering more and more from the Western chronic illness, which are related to obesity, related to cholesterol and cholesterol, blood sugar more than cholesterol, to be honest, stress, uh, migraine headaches, pressure, tension, depression, anxiety, cravings. And so the food that we're eating, if you think about it, is the biochemistry that you're putting into your body every day, 3 to 6 times a day. Or if you're not eating good food, then it's the biochemistry that you're not putting into your body those opportunities during the day. And this is affecting your health every single moment you're alive. And it's creating at the root level, at the root cause, how resistant you are to cold and flus, how much energy you have, how well you feel during the day, what your mood fluctuations are like, what your cravings are like, whether or not you have to self medicate with coffee, alcohol, take prescription medications or over the counter medications, whether you're in the medical system, how much you have to be included as part of the medical system, which is the sick care system that so much of us are facing. If you pay attention to your food, then you remove yourself from that common denominator for which so many people are being systemically controlled by the food that we're given, the food that's available to us by convenience, by first glance, because all the food in the grocery store shelves contains, if not hidden, but if you read the ingredients, you know it's there, but soy, corn, genetically modified foods, sugar beet or genetically modified canola oil, and genetically modified foods are altering genes, okay? Because the genes of the food itself is altered, and it can also alter our own genes, not to mention our cells on a more short term level. It's a very concentrated amount of pesticides that you're getting. And what do pesticides do? They kill insects. And so if these are strong enough to kill insects, then imagine what they're doing to the cells of your body, not to mention pesticide levels are not controlled. They spray whenever they want. They put fungicides on seeds as much as they like. There's really very little FDA regulation, and there's very little understanding of how much chemical exposure we're getting. Chemicals are war, okay? It is warfare. It is a form of population control. I believe this very strongly. In order to become enlightened, in order to become in touch and in control of our own health and in our own evolution, then we really do need to take ourselves off the grid in a lot of the perspective, take ourselves off of prepackaged foods. And that's all the convenience foods that you might be used to eating. Now, am I saying that you can't eat any foods that you like ever again? I'm not saying that. However, I am saying that we need to develop a new palate, and this happens gradually. It is possible. We just have to expose ourselves to better quality food so that once you do that, once you start exposing yourself to better quality of food, increase your fruits and vegetable consumption, then you're no longer as vulnerable to illnesses, as well as to cravings, as well as to the control that this cheap, manufactured, overly processed, undernutritious, caloric food gives us. Okay. I am available for consultations. I am going to offer a very special price. My consultation fees as a naturopathic doctor are pretty high. They're $550 for the initial. They're $400 for follow-ups. I do have some packages, but I am going to offer a very special rate to my YouTube followers. This is a new channel for me. I really want to get myself in front of you, and I really want to help you as much as possible. I'm absolutely committed to helping people ascend from a nutritional perspective, as well as, mind, body, soul. This is all related to our health. And so I do mind, body, soul readings. Those are oracle card readings. I do them weekly here on YouTube. I just started, but this is something I'm going to continue. I can do a mind, body, oracle reading for you alone for the price of $50. And that's about a 20-minute reading. And we pick cards associated with what your question is. And that's in whatever way you're thinking about your relationships or your life or your health or your job, because it's all holistic. Okay. And I'm trying to help people improve their health in all of these ways, as we're all trying to, on a mission to ascend and trying to be the best possible versions of ourselves. The world, there's been no better time to do this work for yourself, because the world needs good energy, positive energy. It needs us uniting. It needs us sending positive energy to the powers that be, to the negative forces, to the dark side. We all need to unite. We're here for a reason. We're here for a mission. And this is part of my mission, is to help you accomplish that. So mind, body, soul oracle readings are $50, and you can go onto my website at milliesays.com and book that. And this is only for my YouTube subscribers, okay? And you can also go on to my eatingformeaning.com page and book these. I am also doing horoscope readings, so medical astrology readings for you as an individual. We'll look at your sun, your moon, and your ascending, and we'll go over your main concerns, and I'll help you work out which foods you should be eating. This, again, is a very special deal. This is going to be $50, and you can book that right away. And I'm not sure how long these are going to last, but definitely I'm going to offer these for a little while as I build my channel. If you know anybody who's interested in taking advantage of one of these readings, please do have them come onto my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share. I really appreciate it, guys. I really want to reach as many people as possible. I think that this movement is really growing. We need to be physically fit. It's not enough just to be spiritually fit. And I do not mean, you need to go to the gym. I'm not saying don't do that, but that's not really where we get fitness and health. We get fitness and health from tuning into ourselves and learning how all the inner workings of our mind and our soul and our spirit, as well as our physical, are affecting our physical being. We need to be strong physically. We need to be, warriors and activists. We need to have energy. We need to have a clear mind. We need to have a clear channeled heart. We need to know what our mission is and to know our purpose. And in order to be doing this, we need to be as healthy as possible. So I'm here to help you accomplish your vision and help you accomplish your nutrition goals and your health goals, so that you can be the best activist, the best mission agent that you possibly can be. So if you think you're a twin flame, or if you're a twin flame, or if you're a blue ray, or if you're a star seed, or if you're a mission pioneer, or if you're a soul star, wherever you feel like you are, if you know which galactic family you've come from, intergalactic family you've come from, then I'm definitely here to help you. And if you are confused as to what is happening to you, if you're confused or scared by what you're seeing or what you're feeling, or how people are responding to you in terms of your spiritual gifts, please do not be dismayed. This is part of your awakening. This is part of your gift. This is part of your soul's purpose. We are all going through this. You are not alone. And so if you feel alone, then please do reach out to me and connect, because it's really important that we unite and that we are aware of what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the light in this video. I don't know why it's changing so much, but I'm just going to take that as a lot of energy is coming through right now. And so stay tuned for thanks so much again for liking, subscribing. If you'd like to take advantage of one of my special offer readings, either for a mind, body, soul oracle reading, or which I'm also doing for Integral Fitness, their conscious dinner, their conscious family dinners coming up in December in New York. So I am offering them, I'm going to be offering them for free for that dinner, for the price of admission of the dinner. I'm not sure if they're still taking bookings or not for that, but so it is something that I'm going to be doing publicly as well. Hi, Scorpio. Medical astrology is the science that looks at different positions of the zodiac and the celestial bodies on the effect of the human body, on how it affects human health. So this branch of astrology provides insight into the timings of events and can also give clues as to when we might suffer from a disease in relation to the moon or the sun or time of year. When the child is born, a doctor can say how weak or strong the baby is, whether the immune system is weak or strong. But if the child's horoscope is shown to a medical astrologer, then the medical astrologer can also predict which diseases the child might suffer from in the future. I'm not a medical astrologer, I'm a naturopathic doctor, but we do tend to look at disease susceptibility similarly. And I am interested in the effect of the zodiac on patients' susceptibilities to disease. I can determine how the disease might progress based on symptoms that are going on right now, based on the emotional and mental stressors, how it's coming through in symptoms of the body right now, and what that's likely to progress into. And so that's why I wanted to do this little series discussing nutrition and how nutrition can affect each zodiac sign. We're going to be talking specifically about the moon and the sun in Scorpio. So in astrology, every planet influences the outcome of a disease, but depending on the location of the planets in the zodiac signs determines what conditions you're likely to get. Each of the zodiac signs is represented by a different area of the body, and the Scorpio area of the body is the genital area, so below the abdomen. So it's in the pelvic area. Scorpios are known for being the most sexual sign. They are also very deep and psychic, kind of from the gut, or even lower, like from the gonads. That's where their drive is. They're methodical, they're magnetic, they're very, very sexual, and this plays out in what their disease susceptibility is. So for the moon, actually I'll start with the sun. If your sun is in Scorpio, then these people often suffer from erratic sexual desire. So your libido can be up sometimes and your libido can be down sometimes. You can be suffering from impotence. You can be in males. Males can be suffering from testicular cancer. All Scorpios, female and male, can be suffering from STDs, venereal diseases. This can be herpes or gonorrhea or chlamydia or HPV. Susceptible to viruses in that area, bacteria in that area, molluscum. And also those Scorpio born in those Scorpio sun signs also suffer from diseases affecting the muscular system. So even though Scorpio is generally regarded as one of the most robust signs, they're very mentally strong, and this carries through in their physical prowess. They are very sexual and lots of testosterone in the men, lots of estrogen in the female, and very fertile sign, so to speak. So overall, very healthy signs. But these lingering problems can really plague, let's say, the Scorpio sun. So for men, if you have problems with ED or if you have problems with impotence, the best foods to eat are anti-inflammatory foods. So these would be purple and black and dark green leafy vegetables. So everything from kale to beet greens to kohlrabi to all those cabbage family vegetables. This helps with the processing of cholesterol. This helps with reducing inflammation, and it also helps with metabolizing estrogens. Now, estrogens can build up in the body, they can build up in men, and therefore crowd out testosterone, especially as men age. And they can also build up in women and create something like an estrogen dominance, which is very angry, filled with maybe lots of growth, fibroids, cysts, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So we want to make sure that there's lots of brassica, lots of broccoli family vegetables. That's kale, cabbage, arugula, mustard greens, and kimchi, sauerkraut, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi in our diet, okay? And so that those can be juiced, eaten just slightly steamed. You want them to be bright green when you eat them. That's really the best time. Or they can be sprouted, so broccoli sprouts. There's nutrients in broccoli family vegetables called sulforaphane and carbinol, indole-3 carbinol, and DIM. And these nutrients, these small nutrients, are antioxidants, and they really help with the balance of estrogen breakdown in the system. Okay, so broccoli family vegetables are really important for Scorpios who are susceptible to too much estrogen. That can be males and females. And too much estrogen can also cause impotence for males. So anti-inflammatories are dark berries, so purple colored berries and vegetables. So that would be blueberries, service berries, blackberries, dark grapes. They must be organic because there's too many pesticides on them otherwise. Black raspberries, lingonberries, currants, then also the vegetables like the eggplant, the purple eggplants, the beets, the purple cabbage, the purple potatoes. These blue pigments called proanthocyanidins are anti-inflammatory for the blood vessels. So they remove inflammation in the blood. They lower C-reactive protein, and therefore they get the blood flowing better. And this is really good for impotence. Now, this is really good also for women who have fibroids or uterine problems as well, because we want to increase the circulation there. There's really good supplements that are good for this as well, such as OPC3, has resveratrol, bilberry, citrus bioflavonoids, very anti-inflammatory. I'll put the link in the comments area, the description below. So if you want to check out that product, feel free to do so. But those berries are specifically good for help making the blood strong, making the blood have less inflamed cholesterol, because it's not actually cholesterol that gives us heart disease either. And if we have heart disease, if we have high blood pressure, then we're more likely to have problems in the sexual area. So because it blocks off the blood flow. And so it's not just the fact of having high cholesterol that gives us heart problems. And in fact, the American Heart Association is really relooking at the effect of high cholesterol on our body, because it's really not just a cholesterol problem. It's actually mostly not a cholesterol problem. It's mostly an inflammatory problem. So when the cholesterol gets inflamed, there's something called lipid peroxidation that goes on, which basically means that oxygen is damaging the cholesterol, and then the cholesterol gets damaged and it's no longer circulating through the blood anymore, doing its job. It starts sticking to the artery walls. And that only happens when the cholesterol is damaged. There's not enough antioxidants in the system, or there's too much deep fried food, or too much meat, or too much sugar. Sugar is actually even a bigger culprit for bad cholesterol than eating cholesterol for many, many people. There are some genetic susceptibilities, some genetic differences between people. Some people's cholesterol raises when they eat eggs. Some people's cholesterol raises when they eat white bread and sugar. And so you can find out this about yourself if you're interested, if you have cholesterol problems, especially if you have ED or impotence problems. Now, testicular cancer, that's also a hormonal problem, or any condition of benign prostatic hypertrophy, BPH, in men. So if your prostate's enlarged, again, we really want to look to the brassica family fruits and brassica family vegetables, the cabbage family vegetables that I mentioned. Also, there's passion flower is a way to reduce buildup of the bad kind of hormones, and also can help with hair loss. So something like passion flower tea is really good. For venereal diseases, if you're susceptible to virus, Scorpio, then you really want to be having lemon balm. You really want to be having lysine. There are a whole list of foods that are beneficial because for venereal diseases, especially herpes, because they have a greater amount of lysine, which is an amino acid, than arginine. So you really want to avoid like chocolate and peanuts and chicken, and you really want to increase the lentils and the beans and the green vegetables. This is really important if you tend to flare up from herpes or even if you have HPV for women, so if you have cervical dysplasia. Also, green tea is really good with dealing with viruses as well as being anti-estrogenic. It's a phytoestrogen, which means that it contributes weak estrogens, which take place of the estrogen receptor and therefore allow the body to get rid of the bad estrogens. Flax seeds also do this, very good for women and men of Scorpio sun. Okay, so degenerative diseases affecting the muscles, like muscle wasting, it's really important for Scorpios to get enough vitamin D. It's really important for Scorpios to get enough magnesium. Now, vitamin D is available in the sun sometimes, not generally in the winter, especially not in the northern hemisphere. So I do highly recommend supplementing with it. Not too many foods naturally contain vitamin D, maybe salmon bones or bone broth, but otherwise vitamin D has been added to milk, and I don't generally recommend milk and any fortified foods as a health food per se. So I would recommend taking a supplement, maybe with coconut oil. If you're taking vitamin D, it's a fat vitamin, so if you do need to take it with fats generally. And magnesium, so all the electrolytes, magnesium, potassium, which help reduce lactic acid buildup and help repair the muscles after there's been any exercise. Also protein, of course. It could be branched chain amino acids, the lysine, the L-leucine, and the valine. Those are the branched chain amino acids, or it could be the 9 other amino acids, the essential amino acids that we need in order to consume in order to make our muscle mass again. And the ideal time to consume amino acids, if they're isolated amino acids, like in an isolated whey protein or something, anytime before, during, or after a workout, you have a window of about an hour after a workout to eat protein, especially if it's in a whole form like natural peanut butter, chicken dinner, beef, steak, regular protein shake. And then those can be vegetarian sources of protein as well, nuts, seeds, lentils, legumes, sprouted tofu, tempeh, etc. for you vegetarians out there. So that keeps the muscle mass up, the electrolytes, as well as having enough protein in the diet. Now, not all sources of protein are equal. We really want to be careful that the meats that we're eating, especially if we're eating animal products, have been pasture raised, have been grazing grass, have not been given antibiotics, have not been given hormones, because then, of course, we absorb all of those hormones, and that's more likely to contribute to cancer, fibroids, and growth. We really want to be on a low estrogen diet, especially if we have any growth or enlargements in our genital area. And then all those proteins, if they're good quality, will also benefit the muscle. So Scorpios should drink a large amount of water to keep their urinary system flushing. The urinary tract is also, especially from Scorpio moons, the urinary tract is likely to be irritated, but the urinary tract can be irritated in Scorpio suns as well. This means it can be can play out in sensitive bladder, overactive bladder, interstitial cystitis. And then you really want to reduce inflammatory foods like pineapple and tomato. Those are acidic foods. Inflammatory foods like dairy, alcohol, coffee, very acidic and also inflammatory, and really are likely to trigger the bladder to be sensitive. Any foods that you're sensitive, in fact, can trigger this. You might not know, but especially if there's like rosacea, and then there's also interstitial cystitis or bladder irritation, then this is definitely, you want to get rid of alcohol. You definitely want to get rid of coffee and added sugar. You definitely want to get rid of tomatoes, pineapples, and maybe even black tea. And Scorpios also want to prevent constipation. So you want to make sure you're having enough fiber, enough fruits and vegetables per day, at least 5 servings. That's the minimum recommended amount. A serving is a cup of raw or half a cup of cooked. Fruits or vegetables of any kind, potatoes and corn, do not count. They count as starch. But all green vegetables, red, purple, orange, yellow, the colors of the rainbow, are good enough. So you want particularly to be eating vegetables, not fruits. And having easy bowel movements, having regular bowel movements is also a really good way to keep the blood pressure from being high. Constipation contributes to blood pressure, so if you must, take a fiber supplement like a psyllium husk, but then you need to be drinking a lot of water, or a clear fiber like the advanced fiber powder. I'll also put a link to that below, is really good at ensuring that you're having regular bowel movements and keeping your digestive tract clean and smooth and functioning. Scorpio also should do regular exercise. They're very prone to tension, and that's really a good way to work it out. Also keeps their muscles strong, and that's really important for Scorpio, especially because they do have an excess of hormones, so they need to be dealing with their stress via rigorous exercise. The moon in Scorpio causes problems in the rectal and genital areas as well in both sexes. And again, constipation is the most common problem for Scorpios with their moon, the people with their moon in Scorpios. And there's also irritable IBS, disturbed bowel syndromes can also be a problem and create diarrhea-like symptoms. So Scorpios can be very prone to nerves and stress, and then it can their gut-brain connection can kind of be off, and they can get a rapid evacuation like diarrhea after they eat something or after they think something, or if they're too stressed out. So alcohol can exacerbate this, coffee can exacerbate this. Even raw salads can exacerbate this. You might in these times go with cooked foods, soupy stewy foods, or cooked vegetables. Having a lot of fish with good omega-3s like wild salmon, truly wild salmon, mackerel, sardines, anchovies, all the good omega-3 fishes can be good at reducing inflammation in the colon, as well as taking fish oils, as well as having turmeric regularly in your diet. Enteric-coated peppermint capsules can also be good for people who are prone to a spastic colon. Drinking peppermint tea, however, might irritate this because it relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter. And so if you have heartburn as well as a bowel evacuation, then you really do want to avoid these same foods that I keep on mentioning for Scorpios to avoid is the tomatoes, the coffee, the alcohol, the pineapple, oranges, orange juice. When I say citrus, I don't mean lemons and limes. I only mean grapefruits and oranges and orange juice in particular. That can exacerbate diarrhea-like symptoms or irritable bowel. Now, gluten can also be a big problem if you're sensitive to gluten, if you're sensitive to beer. If you react when you have beer, then you really do want to get all the gluten out of your diet, and that means whiskey-based drinks as well. The brown alcohols, really important for you Scorpios to get rid of those. So, because diarrhea for Scorpios is generally caused by a combination of tension as well as food. Now, constipation can be causes that as well. If you do have a period of diarrhea, let's say you have a day or two of diarrhea, then you are more likely because you've evacuated everything and your intestines are empty, you're more likely to have a couple of days of constipation where you might feel uncomfortable. And this can really exacerbate the brooding Scorpio already. Now, I love Scorpios. I'm a true lover of Scorpios, or a Scorpio, and so I know the sensitivity in the digestive tract can be very real, as well as in the urinary tract. So for women, also problems can be during the menstrual cycle and get better with intercourse. Okay, so again, very hormonal. So you really do, for women, want to make sure that you're keeping your estrogen levels in check and not having too many animal products. The birth control pill might really irritate you. Now, you might think it's keeping you under control, but I suggest consulting a naturopathic doctor such as myself, or somebody who knows what's going on, and helping you get off the birth control pill, especially if you're having a lot of symptoms throughout your menstrual cycle, especially if you're having yeast infections, or if you've had yeast infections or any irritation, which are relieved for intercourse. Get rid of all the dairy, get rid of all the sugar, get rid of all the yeast promoting foods like peanuts and sugars and vinegars, white vinegar-based condiments. So that's pickles, olives, everything, spicy foods that are in vinegar. That can even be mustard, and go towards the natural fermented foods that are in the fridge section that have lactobacillus and no vinegar. So that's the natural sauerkrauts, the Bubba's pickles. Have those instead, the oil-cured olives, but so they're not sitting in white vinegar, and avoid white vinegar altogether. Unfiltered organic apple cider vinegar is great. That's a great substitute. Okay, Scorpio, so I hope this really helped. Also, I want to mention for women with estrogen dominance, then, getting your weight normal, working out can help with this as well, drinking a lot of water, and making sure that you're on a hormone balancing diet, which is something that you can recommend. So if you want to check out a one-on-one consultation with me for your specific moon and sun sign, please click the link below. I do offer nutritional astrology consultations for individuals, and I'll see you another time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share to all of my pages, and I really appreciate you, and I love you all. Thanks so much. Bye.